Hey, Nevaman, Schmidty. It's good to be able to talk to you, at least by YouTube video. And first of all, I can't believe that you've both graduated. And that makes me feel really old, but at least I'm not as old as Schmidty and Dub. I think they're approaching the 6-0, something like that. Anyway, I just wanted to say a few words to you and just to really encourage you as you go off to your next plans, school, work. And the first thing, Neverman, I'll speak to you. As I recall, unfortunately, all the terrible jokes that you told. I think your famous statement for the all 3 years of middle school were, "Hey, Jim, I got a joke for you. Hey, Jim, have you heard this joke?" I heard that so many times. And it was just fun to kind of see you come into your own as you entered high school and just to see you enjoying life and being able to actually tell decent jokes as you got older. Also loved the time at Cedar Point with you. I think the first time with you was in 7th grade. And as we were there waiting for a ride, I had taken my glasses off. And someone said, hey, is that Josh? And I couldn't really see it, but then we followed the cart there, and you were in the first aid area. You had a nosebleed. And so I guess that was just a crazy time. But finally, the thing that I can't get out of my head, frankly, because my life flashed before my eyes, is when Mark Slutton and I came to your place because you had slept in for Sunday school. And we came there and we opened up your door, and the foul smell, like I said, it was the worst smell I've ever experienced. And I've smelled a lot of bad things in my life. And my life flashed before my eyes at that moment. I think I threw up in my mouth. But anyway, that was always fun, giving you a wake-up call there and seeing and doing that to you. That was fun. But Josh, you've grown so much, and it's been really cool to see having you be in our brotherhood and to be able to study the Word together, talk about video games, talk about all the ladies that said no to you. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it was just exciting to be able to walk the journey with you. Schmitty, may I first say to you, my queen, I just want to make sure that I make sure to acknowledge the way that you are, Miss Buffalo, and I'm not sure if I was still there in Buffalo if you would even acknowledge me. You're so famous. I'd have to pay for your autograph, and frankly, I have your autograph here in Pennsylvania, and I've sold it already for about $50. So thanks for the profit that you've given me. But Schmitty, we had a good time. I remember all the coffee times. You hung out with Kizzo so many times that you did like I'll take a Frappuccino, no froth, extra coffee, and like it turned out to be like $10 for your drink alone. I had to take out a loan anytime I wanted to go out to coffee with you and some other people. So that was always fun, though, talking about if ever I wanted to know the gossip about Buffalo High School, about who was going out with who, what was going on, it was all I had to do was take Schmitty out for coffee. And it was just like, hey, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Oh, did you know this? I knew it all. It was perfect. So good luck in your future at TMZ. No, I'm just kidding. But those were always fun times. I got to hear your heart and always ask you the hard questions. You always knew they were coming, and yet you still said yes to the coffee invitation. So, but I'm excited for you going off to school and your plans for the future. And it was just enjoyable to walk that journey with you, to see you starting all the way from middle school and then going into high school, and just enjoyed every minute with you, just challenging you and encouraging you. And the one last thing I wanted to say to you, and the other students who are perhaps watching this, Moses gave a message to the people, and he had been a leader of the Israelites for 40 years, and yet this was the end. He was passing the baton off to someone else, and his final words to the people were in the book of Deuteronomy. That's what he wrote down. That's what he spoke to the people. And I wanted to challenge you with a few of the words from Deuteronomy. From Deuteronomy chapter 4, Moses says this in verse 9. Only take care and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things that your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. And a few verses later, in verse 15, he says, therefore, watch yourselves very carefully. The challenge for all of us as believers, and is no different than the Israelites, they saw God every day. They saw him actually with the pillar of fire and the cloud at night, fire at night and cloud by day. They saw all that, and yet they forgot God so quickly. They doubted him. They complained. And now, since we don't see a tangible evidence of God, and with the fast pace of life, the challenge for you both is, will you remember God? Not just intellectually knowing, like, oh yeah, God, he's important to me, I believe in him, but do you actually believe what you've believed? Or have you forgotten who God is? The challenge for you, and I challenge myself with it as well, do we spend time in the Word? Do we allow the Word to speak to us? Or do we make the Word of God fit into our own life? For instance, when we open up the Word and the first question we ask is, what does this have to say to me? It's a wrong question. Because the Bible is not about me or you. It's the story of God. The story of his faithfulness to thousands of generations because of his goodness and love. And we forget that. Because in our Western culture, what you've grown up hearing and seeing in our culture is, it's all about me. That's what it's all about. And so when we approach God, the challenge is we want to put God into our plans. Hey God, I want you to be a part of my plan. It sounds great, doesn't it? Oh, well, at least I got God in my plan. Well, here's the thing. God never intends for us to put him in our plans. The challenge for us is to put ourselves in his plan. Do you see there's a subtle difference there? And what happens with the craziness of life, going here and going there, we forget that. We forget how amazing God is. We forget his love and his grace. Later on in Deuteronomy 32, Moses says, take heart, obey the law that's been given, for it is your life. Nevaman and Schmidty, this word of God is your life. Take it to heart. I love you both. I'm praying for you. I love you all watching the video. I just want to say I'll never forget you. I loved all the time that we spent together, and I'll keep praying for you. Feel free to drop me a line on Facebook if you'd ever need encouragement. Talk to you later.